we do also have to talk about former Teen Mom 2 star V Rivera, who is wife to Kail Lowry's inaugural baby daddy, Joe Rivera. She actually posted a video to her Instagram that I found to be rather curious, especially considering the fact that it was liked by Kail Lowry's former live-in nanny turned arch nemesis, nanny Natalie. In this video, you've got V doing her makeup. It's called a Get Ready With Me. She's doing her makeup, but she's talking about how she developed discernment and how it's become so much easier for her to cut people out of her life, right? And so take a look at this video and let me know if you think, even suspect a little bit, that she's talking about her former best friend, Alessandra. They even had a podcast together called Vibin' and Kind of Thriving. V decided to quit that podcast. V unfollowed Alessandra on Instagram. So all signs point to a feud between the two ladies. And I'm not surprised. I wouldn't have stayed friends with Alessandra either, right? Alessandra is employed by Petty Betty, Kail Lowry, but she just has gotten just way too entrenched in Kail's life and podcasts and whatnot. And Kail was obviously using her to get under V's skin, and she fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. And she just became a sycophant to this woman, and V had to cut her off. And now take a look at V explains cutting people off. And let me know what you think in the live chat if you're watching live, or in the comment section if you're part of my playback posse.
Get ready with me as we talk about the gift of discernment. So if you're anything like me, you've spent a majority of your life people pleasing. It literally does nothing but drain you and serves everybody else but you. A lot of the times I would just say yes out of guilt, or I just didn't want people to be mad at me. Now I've entered this era where it's so easy for me to just cut the cord. It feels so freaking weird to finally be able to do that. I don't cry over it or beg people to understand. And for a while there, I was like, is it normal to feel this way? So I asked one of my really close friends, I'm like, am I becoming like cold? Am I just freaking shutting down emotionally? And she was like, V, you are finally trusting your discernment. Discernment is not like judging. You're not judging. You're not being bitter. It's not shutting people out just to punish them or anything. It's just that inner knowing, that inner intuition saying, this person doesn't align with you, or it's even just this space just no longer feels safe. Before, oh my God, before I used to ignore that feeling, girl, I used to ignore that shit. I've definitely learned lately, like, the cost of ignoring your gut and that intuition is way too high. And your body knows way before your mind does. It knows who drains you, it knows who disrespects you, it knows who only calls when they need something. I don't know, but sometimes I just be feeling guilty. Like, I feel like if I say no, I owe people an explanation after, and I don't owe shit. And here's the part I feel like nobody really talks about. Like, sometimes you might cut people off and feel nothing. You don't feel sad, you don't feel anger or spiteful, like you just feel done and neutral. And that's really the part that used to scare me, like what I was talking about before. I'd be like, why am I becoming cold? Like, I don't want to be that person. But it's really not that. Like, you're not becoming cold. It's just your nervous system is telling you, thank you, girl. Like, I've been trying to tell you. So if you are in this season of your life, you just feel emotionally done with certain people, you are not cold. Don't think you're being cold. You're just finally freaking listening to yourself. And if you need someone to tell you that's okay, you found her. You don't owe them what they couldn't give you. That's on one bitch. Period. If you like when we have little girl chats like this, stay tuned, because I got a big surprise coming.
So there you go. V talks about the breakdown of certain friendships and how she doesn't even miss those ex-friends of hers. To me, very obvious, this is a nod to her feud or her fallout with Alessandra, but maybe you guys think differently. I did see quite a few of you leave comments in the live chat, so let's go ahead and take a look at what you had to say about this situation. Minnie says, I like V, but she hasn't really, done anything she said she was going to do. Wasn't she supposed to put a tea podcast out? Well, that is the thing about V. She doesn't really seem, I don't know, like, she does her videos and her stuff on the Instagram or whatever, but it is true that she doesn't really follow through on certain projects that she promises to launch. But at the end of this Get Ready With Me, she did say, if you enjoy these chit chats or whatever, stay tuned. So maybe that's the kind of tea thing or the chisme thing that she was promising. we'll have to wait and see. But it is true that it would be nice to see her, follow through on something that she's promised, right? Cami says, how does V get caught up with all these toxic people? I did see a comment a little bit earlier, actually, that might respond to yours, Cami. So let me go ahead and pull it back up, because I think somebody said that it has something to do with like these kinds of, it was Courtney. Hey, Court had said, V seems like a good person, and unfortunately, manipulators flock to those kinds of people. So maybe that was the reason, right? Because to me, I've only seen her in 2 fallouts, and they're with Kail and Alessandra. And to be honest, I would have fallen out with Kail too, by the way that she talks about, V's husband and, V as well. And then with Alessandra, I would have done the same thing. I would have cut her off, because the way that Alessandra has been so far up Kail's behind after the way that Kail talked about V like a dog on the podcast and kind of called her a crappy, stepmom and everything like that too. Like it was, like it's weird for you as her bestie to be writing for her so badly like that, or so hard like that. It was not a good look at all, in my humble opinion. So I can't really say that like, she's the common denominator and she sucks or whatever, just because like, listen, I would have done the same thing as her in both situations. What about you guys? Like, would you have fallen out with Alessandra or a friend like Alessandra if, they started moving the way that Alessandra does, with your enemy, someone who talks crap about you and has made your life hell over the past like 16 years. And, would you have fallen out with like a baby mama like Kail as well? Like, listen, like he without sin cast the first stone, right? Like, listen, I'm not casting those stones, because I would have cut them out too. Lauren says, because she's a sweetheart and people use and abuse and see people who are kind as disposable. And I do think that could be it as well. Courtney says 100% that feeling I get has never been wrong about those people. Scorpios were good about that. Yeah, Virgos maybe too. Yeah, that Scorpio intuition is strong. It is like a sixth sense. Gwen says, highly recommend this advice. I have a relatively peaceful, boring life these days. And that's the way it should be, right? Peace above all else. Linda says, I'm so late. Good morning, Grace. Well, it's nice to see you. Better late than never, Linda. Happy Friday. Good morning, sunshine. Ramster says, by the way, how's Joe's rapping? Listen, he left that. These days, he's a real estate investor. That's his new career. He has like a dozen properties. Like he's doing really well. And some of these are multi-family properties. So he's really, really bringing that money in right now, which thank God, right? Because rapping was not for him. I guess, it's one of those like things where looking back, maybe it's just what he needed to do to find V. Because if he didn't try to become a rapper or whatever, he never would have found V. Isn't that crazy to think just one decision, one something could change like your life and like, it's really beautiful. It's a really, really cool thing. By the way, Erin says her birthday's coming up. Listen, Erin, come back and remind us on your birthday so we can play the birthday song for you too. We had so much fun with that today, and I really want to continue to put that to use. Tanisha says, I feel like V probably doesn't want the spotlight after experiencing the drama with Baby Mama's No Drama. That's probably why she hasn't started her own podcast. And maybe that's the thing, right? Maybe Kail's fans are harassing her. Like some people are diehard Kail fans to the point where they'll harass people who criticize Kail in any capacity. And V could be on the receiving end of that. And maybe it's something that has scared her out of trying, right? But I think she's like kind of a natural with like this get ready with me format. I thought it was like, very easy to follow. Like I thought she was charismatic and stuff. So I really would like to see her continue on with that. And Courtney, this actually can be similar because somebody else said that like that V never finishes whatever it is that she starts. I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but essentially this comment kind of like falls into that, right? Like V let her real estate license expire and everything like that. And she hasn't launched the podcast that she promised and some other things as well. So it is kind of like, okay, well, what's going on? Are you busy with your daughter? Or is it just that you have like something against seeing projects through? I really don't know what that's all about, but I remember it was this whole deal. Didn't she have to lawyer up or something over her real estate? I feel like it was something even more than just letting it expire. Like it was a whole drama. I remember doing a recap about it, but I can't remember what it was exactly. This would have been last year or the year before. I think it was 2 years ago, actually. You have a really good memory, by the way, Court. Laura says mine was over July 31st. Oh, well, happy belated, Laura. I hope you had a great time celebrating. Nicole is on the 13th. I'll remember that birthday song. Yes, please come back. We want to celebrate your birthday with you guys, okay? I love that. And it's Leo season. Listen, these Leo seasons are not going to be shy about their birthdays. That's one thing. Laura says she's probably about burnt out for the moment and needs a time to herself with her family for a bit before starting to know something new. I think so too. Listen, imagine you've been in your stepson's life his entire life since he was a baby, before he could even speak. You stepped up even as a freaking teenager, right? And his mother, instead of just being happy that the son has you as a constant in his life while she's running around with a new man every like year and a half or something, she goes on her podcast, a podcast that you started, to talk crap about you, to say you're a user, you're a liar, you're manipulative, you're a fake stepmom for social media, you're actually a deadbeat stepmom in real life. Like, that's something that like takes some time to recover from, right? Like, it's a really, really hurtful thing that Kail did to her. So I absolutely would not blame her if she kind of felt off about going back on social media. And mind you, the person who's like, you know, talking so much crap about you publicly, that person has like 3 million followers on just one platform alone. Never mind all of them combined. Like, yeah, that's some scary stuff for sure. Nicole says V should be invited on the cruise. Could you imagine that? Remember, the Teen Mom girlies are doing a cruise together. So there's going to be Caitlin and Tyler. There's going to be Jade and Sean. There's also going to be Janelle, and there's going to be Brianna, and there's going to be Ashley. So far, they're still trying to get some other Teen Mom stars to sign on for the cruise. I know Jaleesa had said that she wanted to potentially go and take a look at it, you know, do some on the ground reporting for us. And there was somebody else. I'm closing my eyes trying to remember who it was. There's somebody else. Was it you, Amy? I think it was Amy who was the other person who said that they were going to look into seeing whether or not they could go on the cruise and let us know what's going on. I said, listen, whoever could do it, maybe we could put a nice GoFundMe together, get you those tickets. That would be absolutely hilarious. Live, not tweets, because we're boycotting Musty and his platform. Maybe like live Instagrams or something like that about what's going on, TikToks or something. Would be absolutely crazy about what's happening on this cruise. Laura says, Brianna, Ashley, and Janelle, this won't go well. I'm telling you, you're gonna have Brianna. Can you imagine? This is like Mortal Kombat. You've got Brianna, who releases the crickets, right, against her enemies. Then you've got Ashley, who will spit on her enemies, and you've got Janelle, who will actually like wop, mollywop her enemies, or actually she'll chase them down with a gun, like we saw her do in her road rage incident. Who will win? Ali says, I could see someone getting pushed overboard. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised. I hope they have some good insurance for this cruise, because it is not looking good at all. My God. By the way, Gail, best of luck to your daughter, Jenna. I'm so sorry to hear about that, but I'm glad that it's not cancerous, but best of luck to her in her medical journey. That cannot be easy at all. Carly with an I says, Leah's participation in the cruise may include those taxes, in my opinion. And I think so too. Don't forget, Leah fell way behind on her taxes, and it doesn't help that she can't even sell the house she lives in order to pay down her taxes, because guess what? Dodo Bird decided to put that house in her ex-boyfriend's name. Mind you, she was dating this guy for a solid like 5-6 months when they bought a house together. People always, act like I'm so mean when I say the girl is I'm not going to say moron, but like when I say that the girl has nothing going on upstairs. How the hell do you not only buy a house with your boyfriend of like 5 months to move in with your kids who've already moved in and lived with several different random men, but then on top of that, you put that house in his name, even though it's your money? What else do you call somebody like that if you don't call them, sorry, but an idiot? Like, oh my God. And so again, she can't even pay off her taxes, sell that house, pay off the taxes, because it's in the boyfriend's name. And the only reason she's able to stay in the house that she paid for her with her own damn money is because she's keeping the secret about how her boyfriend, she saw him getting folded like a pretzel or something like that at home. She hinted at it, right? So I'm just saying, but the whole thing is absolutely insane. It's so like, it enrages me, right? Like you're playing with your children's future, dude. Like, what is that? Ramster says, when involved with Kail, at some point, she will pick a fight with you, her, him, and we could be taking bets on when it's Becky's turn. Listen, Becky and Kail, keep an eye on that Frenemies podcast, because the way that they kind of low-key squabble on that, it's actually quite fascinating. Killen says, just had bad vibes about the cruise. What if there's a crazy star? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and mind you, the teen moms are not even being paid really, according to sources at the Ashley. They can only really get paid a little something as stipend if they sell enough tickets, right? So we saw Brianna selling her ass off on Instagram Live. So they're doing this for free. Like, not everybody who watches the show or whatever is crazy or a stalker, but there is a risk of that. And they have to be like, you have to have like a certain kind of energy or personality all the time, or else people are going to talk about how you're so mean and how you're so stuck up or whatever on the internet, right? So like, that's just absolutely insane. To do that for free is crazy to me, but I digress. Courtney says, I would say Janella is a bad representation for North Carolina, but she's from the coast, so it's actually pretty accurate. Ooh, Courtney, the coast, they're going to come for you. Be careful, Bill. They're going to come for you. Listen, I don't know anything about the coast or anything like that. And by the way, Jaleesa, you have just been our travel girl, and I love it. Jaleesa just came back from Rome, and she was traveling all over the U.S. for Beyonce. She was supposed to come to Paris for Beyonce, and now she's planning to come to Paris, apparently, and she's about to do this cruise. Damn, Jaleesa. This is our rich aunt over here. I love it. Love that. Lex says, and this is about Leah, by the way. I mean, I kind of guess she wasn't too bright when she gave the twins almost the exact same name. I am telling you, honestly, and it's so sad. I find it to be just so freaking sad and disappointing. She should have done so much more. She had every opportunity to educate herself and to just, learn, but she just doesn't want to. I will give her props though, because she did get her real estate license, and that's nice. And this is the thing, human. Why, when you do clownery, when you do shady things, the clown comes back to bite. Because why are you trying to buy this massive house that isn't even handicap accessible for your handicapped daughter when you should be paying your taxes? You had $200K or $100K cash, and instead of putting it towards your massive tax bill, you put it towards the house to impress your boyfriend of 5 months. Not smart at all. Anyway, listen, y'all. I'm making peanut butter cookies today. I think I told you guys yesterday I was supposed to go to the museum, but I was so exhausted. We didn't go to the museum. We went out to dinner. And then you could see this on my Instagram stories, by the way. Then we went out to Montmartre. Something that's so beautiful about here is that you just walk, you see where the streets take you, and you end up in, any beautiful neighborhood. There are 20 neighborhoods in the city of Paris, and you'll always end up in a beautiful one, right? So we were walking, found ourselves in Pigalle. Not Pigalle, pardon. Not Sacré-Cœur. We did go up to the Sacré-Cœur as well, and it's really beautiful at night, but we didn't want to hang out there because it's not really like, a local thing, right? So we went to the side of that area in Montmartre, and there was like this beautiful like local brewery, and there was like a jam session. They were playing some blues, they were playing some soul, they were playing some rock, a little bit of everything, and it was a lot of fun. I got to try one of like their non-alcoholic beers, and it was really good. That's the first time I've tried that, and I really like it. I think I'm going to stick to that, moving forward. So really cool, really fun stuff. Today, what am I up to? I'm making peanut butter cookies, going out for dinner again, and going to find like a nice lounge just to drop it like it's hot, y'all. It's Friday night. What do you want from me? Anyway, listen, y'all, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend as well, as usual. And Akeisha, I'm sorry, I'm signing off. I missed you today. So sorry. And Tyrell as well. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of The Morning Report. Per usual, I go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the day's hottest stories. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows you enjoy my content. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. Bye, guys.